Hello there. That's my Obi-Wan impersonation, as brief as it is. Yeah, I'm downloading a few games, so I thought what I'll do actually is just take an opportunity to talk about some of the games I spotted on the Xbox sales, actually. Let's have a look. So, recently acquired some cool games. I can't emphasize enough, Game Pass is so cost effective. It's absolutely brilliant on the Xbox. Really, really cool um, program. And it turns out, I think Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, the major competitors, the Xbox really, aren't offering an equivalent, which is really strange. So, which games have I acquired recently on the sales? I think a few of these were actually games that acquired on Xbox sales, but those sales may be over now. They seem to update every week, and I'm understanding that there is actually a summer sale due, which should be pretty cool. So this last batch I got, let's just see if the bureau is still on there. That may have ended as well. I think it did because I rushed to try and get hold of that. Hmm. Don't know. There's an odd thing with 360 games, and they're still very valid. I do check them out when I see a 360 game just to make sure that it's going to be of reasonable quality. The Bureau certainly was. You can. The nice thing about the Xbox Store is you can have a flick through the screenshots and stuff. Some games have decent screenshots, and then when you open up the game, you realise it's some 2D pixelated rubbish. But if you're into the 2D pixelated rubbish, then that's fine. So, Dear Esther, I managed to get in the sale. It's only £1.19. Looks really good. So there's a saving of £8. I think what I'm going to do is I ought to make sort of two columns really. I'm going to open up a spreadsheet. You know things are going to get riveting when you do a spreadsheet. But let's have a look at the sort of retail price of the games, if you like, versus the the sale price, and we'll just have a look at the savings to be had. So might do a little formula as well. So I'll do a sale price and an RRP. Okay, so this one here was £1.19 in the sales, and its RRP was £7.99. We'll just call it 8 for even numbers. Yeah, it looked a decent little game. Deserted Island. I'm going to try the controller. Sometimes the controller fails dismally when I'm in the Xbox store. Other times it's okay. So I don't know. If I plug it in, then at least I know it's charged, and that's not the issue as well. So um, all these games I've had a good look at just to make sure they're okay. I haven't just looked at the reviews on Xbox. I've looked at IGN. That's a good source of reviews. And I've looked at other user reviews on the internet. Where it's got the equivalent on Steam and stuff, I've had a look at those as well. So yeah, this just looking through the screenshots looks pretty decent. It's an Xbox One title, and the reviews suggest it's pretty cool. This first one here has got quite a few likes on it. A creepy, melancholic, haunting title game. The music, sound effects, and narration are all wonderful, along with the captivating visuals, really help immerse the player in a forlorn, abandoned landscape surrounded by ferocious, uncaring seas. A real gem, and one that demands multiple playthroughs before finally surrendering all of its secrets. So that sounds pretty good. This is not a game. You have no active part in any of the events or outcomes. You're merely an observer. So it looks like one of those sort of cinematic. That's what it sounds like. One of those cinematic games, which I don't typically go for. I highly value gameplay, but again, it's an experience. I don't mind a bit of interactivity as well, poetry in motion. So a lot of people are talking about its art style and poetic nature. So sounds fantastic, and people are using terms like masterpiece and whatever, beautiful, strangely wonderful. So yeah, I thought it's worth a stab. Now I'm doing one of the sinful things. One of my hi-fi magazines. Well, I don't get it anymore. But they found out that actually a lot of the products, and a lot of review magazines, they never actually um, have the product. They sometimes just review the product based on the specs and things. Whereas other companies, like there's one called Ratings, but it's RTINGS, and they tend to look at TVs. They will only review products that they've physically got in stock. So just watch out for those little caveats that say we haven't touched the product. And I'm doing the same thing here. I've only just purchased these. I've not had time to have a playthrough on them, but I will be doing over the next few days. But by the time I've played through them, the sales will be over anyway. So it'd sort of be a bit redundant in a way. Violett Remastered, from what I remember, this was a platformer. Okay, it's only got one review, 5 star, but on the internet, the reviews look good and there's a little playthrough as well. Again, that's only 83 pence on the Xbox store if you're in the UK. Other countries can be not actually, we're one of the most expensive stores, but they can be cheaper in other countries as well. Um, looks pretty good. Nice little platformer. You know, graphically acceptable. So I thought, yeah, that's all right. Something a little bit different than what I'd usually play.
Dragged away from her friends and life in the city. Forced to move into the old spooky house in the middle of nowhere. Violett imagines how boring her life in the countryside will be. Until one day, a spark of light catches her attention. And a moment, familiar.
So a bit of gameplay there.
Trapped among fantastic creatures.
So it looks a bit of a point and click platformer type game. And I thought, you know, for 83 pence, worth a punt really. So huge saving on that Violett Remastered as well. Out of Line next. This also looked pretty cool. This is £2.44, down from the 6.99. Now, for me, I jumped a generation in a way. I was running the Xbox 360 up until 2019, and then I jumped onto the Xbox One briefly for about 6 months, and then just said, you know, with its mechanical hard drive and all the bits, I might as well just go to the Series X because all the titles from the Xbox One run on the Series X. I did the same thing with the Wii U, really. As soon as I realized everything was backwards compatible with the Wii U, I dumped the Nintendo Wii, to be honest. That's in a box. Can't make use of it, really. But yeah, so it just made sense to jump straight into the Series X. So I'm actually just as wowed by the Xbox One titles as I am the Series X. And to be honest, I mean, there's a game I'll show you in a second where there's two versions of it, and I was struggling to tell the difference between the two. Nobody's done a comparison. Oh, I'll talk about that later anyway, I digress. But yeah, this looks pretty cool game, Out of Line. So, I mean, a lot of these games, you know, it's £2.44, but even at the full price, £7, that's cheaper than just 2 hours in the cinema, and you're likely to get 5 hours gameplay out of this. I mean, sort of pence per hour, it's good value anyway without being in the sales, but extraordinary value in the sales. This is just a single player, as most puzzle platformers are, but I mean, there's always room in my life for a good puzzle platformer, and it looks neat. It's an interesting art style. I appreciate the art style of games increasingly more so since I played Inside. Really, I was just like, that's really what triggered me to appreciating games as art, to be honest. So quite late to that game, if you like. The reviews are good. A technical issue there, but the visual masterpiece. Fan of this type of game, but I'd say it ranks at the top. If you like games like Limbo, Inside, Little Nightmares, this game is chilled out version. The art reminds me of Flashback and even get some Abe's Odyssey vibes. So quite a proper gamer there, if you like, by the looks of it. Finished the game over a weekend, and price point is reasonable. The spear mechanic gives a unique angle, and that's one thing that always sells me on a game. I just think, oh, I like the idea of a something a little bit unique to that title, really. Okay, so that was out of line. I mean, there are quite a number of games on sale on the store, so I've just like sort of handpicked a few that I think, yeah, these will have some appeal to people as well. Um, Nevermind looked pretty okay-ish. It's got a good rating there, 4 out of 5. Like I said, the Xbox rating tends to be a little bit stingy, so yeah, people tend to be a little bit more unforgiving, shall we say, of issues when I've noticed on the Xbox store on the console versus like when you look at Steam ratings and things. I don't know if that's a reflection of the user base or expectations on console or whatever, but 4 out of 5, that's a very strong rating, I think. It's an adventure thriller game in which you must explore strange worlds and solve puzzles to unlock the mystery that lurks within the inner psyche of psychological trauma survivors. So this actually, some of the reviews, and I don't know if they're on here, just painted this as quite unique, really, in a sense. Some were critical, but yeah, let's have a look at the trailer
Peggy
anyway.
16.
Lord, I don't know why this is happening to me. I was the perfect little girl.
They have yet to fix us. But that's why we're here.
I know I'm not alone. I know I can get help if I ask.
For some of us, the greatest enemy is the one within our heads. Yeah, as Carl Jung was so famously iterated. So yeah, horror elements, but I suppose if you're delving into the minds of people to help them with their psychological trauma, then there's going to be some horror elements in there, and some sort of non-Euclidean geometry, which looks interesting. I think I'm sort of into that sort of style of game as well. Compelling and atmospheric, 100% completion, unusual for this person, but better than a lot of high price games. When I got stuck, Flying Mollusk very kindly helped me out. Nice company. You need to persevere to get the most from this game, but it's worth it, and that's often the case with games. So yeah, fairly good reviews. Some criticism, but on the whole, like I said, interesting idea, but slow and not that great buy if discounted only, which I have done, obviously. So again, Nevermind is £2.39 instead of the £16. I might add a caveat at this point, actually, that a lot of these prices are unlocked if you've got Gold. You need to either have Xbox Gold or Xbox Gold within the Game Pass sort of subscription. I think you need Game Pass Ultimate. No, you'll just need either the console version of Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, which includes Gold, to access some of those better prices. Okay, next up we've got Danger Scavenger. This was a cheaper title again, only 83 pence, and that's down from its £8.39. So I'm just adding that to the old tally. Looked interesting. Obviously, that's why I bought it. A 90% sale there. You'll crawl higher than ever before. It's an intense cyberpunk themed roguelite skyline crawler that takes you to the roofs of breathtaking cyberpunk city where you face the ruthless enemies controlled by the soulless AI. So yeah, I mean, looked like an interesting title. We'll have a quick look at some of those screenshots. I do like cyberpunk art theme myself. I think that's a pretty cool strategy. I do like hexagonal platforms as well. But yeah, so a bit of a mishmash of different things. We could have a quick look at the video. I do like the top-down isometric approach to games, something I've only really started to appreciate in the last few months, to be honest, this year maybe. So, 83 pence, if I get an hour's enjoyment out of that game, which I'll probably get more, seems really, really worthwhile for that sort of price. Excellent, an almost flawless game once you get into it. The crafting of weapons and abilities is so good, and the range of characters you can play as makes almost every run feel very different. And that's that roguelike nature to it. Local co-op only, a bit of a downside. If you don't have somebody to play local co-op with, I suppose. It's a shame to only do local co-op when, in a day of Xbox Live and the convenience to that. And it's also a shame that nobody's come with a sort of Xbox workaround for local co-op. I think there's one console where there is a bit of a workaround, which is pretty cool actually, that you can play local co-op over the internet. I'm guessing that's the original Xbox, sort of a hacked version, if you like. So that's Danger Scavenger. Looks pretty cool. I found this Bound by Flame on sale on the store. I don't know if it's going to show up. It's not going to show up. Let's have a look. I don't know. Again, I don't know why it doesn't show up on the console, but it for 360 games. But it did when I looked at it on the web. Who knows why that's the way it is? And it's a bit frustrating because I've seen other games that are like I'm currently trying to negotiate somebody sending me a game from Facebook Marketplace actually, and the only reason I'm doing that is because couldn't seem to find the buy it now button. So this title is £1.79 instead of £8.99, which yeah, I mean, again, that's a significant saving. Again, that's UK prices. So other countries, the pricing discount will probably be the same or as near as, damn it, you know, if it's 90% off, whether or not the end price is cheaper or more expensive. Got good reviews. Never heard of this title before. So yeah, it's a single player. As far as I know, I mean, it doesn't mention anything else there, but from when I looked at it, it was a single player. I've only looked at these briefly, to be fair. But yeah, a few of the screenshots. Again, you know, this is on a console that's rendering in 720p natively, and then a bit of 1080p upscaling. But yeah, I mean, a lot of good reviews, and the reviews weren't sort of. I mean, Dark Souls and Dragon Age, two brilliant titles. So you know, if you're a fan of those, then you'll like this game more than likely. But yeah, a lot of good reviews, and when I read through them, they weren't all just nostalgic reviews. You've got to be careful. Sometimes people with the older titles rate them highly because you know they're just nostalgic for them. But if you don't share that nostalgia, then you're not going to be that excited. Some will like this. Combat is quite awkward and clunky. Maps are closed in like follow the paths to destination. Not sure if this even opens up the world to explore or is it just new area. Complete quest, move on. Shop items are stupidly expensive to the point of meeting the first blacksmith. I mean, I presume that those game things are balanced, you know, for a reason and such. So yeah, on the whole, quite positive. And like I said, what did I say? £1.79 instead of the £9 price. But again, this is odd that I can't really get this title through the store. It's just weird. I'm just trying to think. I've downloaded titles as we speak. This is half the reason I'm doing this, not playing a game, is because I'm downloading those titles. In fact, whilst I'm at it, so I'm on Imagine Earth next. I think what I'm going to do is just have a quick look at those. Oof, lots of updates coming out there again. That Wo Long, God, it's like an update every week. I don't know what's going on there, but it's reassuring. I mean, you know, that's a good thing that a developer's going to the time and effort to provide updates for games instead of just plonking any old rubbish in there. So many games have had so much potential, but the developers just haven't bothered with the updates. So, you know, they've just lost it really. They haven't, you know, they haven't listened to the feedback of the users. And it affects future sales as well. That's a huge update, that 35 gigabytes. So what I'll do is I'll sort of manually update them and save that 35 gig one. I'll have to leave the Xbox again on overnight. It's like, but honestly, it takes up so much power. It's like running a mini heater in the lounge, really. Where were we at? Yeah. So Imagine Earth. Okay, so I think I'm currently didn't take a huge amount of time to download those titles. Yeah, and then we'll be on the updates as well. Imagine Earth. Yeah, this didn't look amazingly exciting, if I'm honest. It's a Series X title. Again, a lot of the sales tend to be the Xbox One titles and stuff. It's not a huge saving really. What is that in terms of percentage? I can't do the quick maths on that myself. 65% saving, so it should be £20.99, £7.34. Similar to a couple of other titles I've got. It says here it's a simulation, real-time planet simulation and build-up strategy game. Your job as a space colony manager is to explore and populate distant planets, build up thriving and profitable colonies on a global scale. Somebody described it, and I don't know if it's in the reviews here, as a like, oh, that's not good, as like, if you like SimCity, they said it's like sort of SimCity in outer space. Now, I'm not a SimCity fan. I'm not, you know, buying a game or it's free on Game Pass, but I'm not buying a game just to go out and wash clothes and, oh God, each to their own, I suppose. I know there's a huge following of SimCity, so I shouldn't be too harsh on it. But yeah, it's not my thing. But I thought, well, give it a try if it's got an outer space theme instead of a more realistic down to earth theme anyway. So games like this I would typically get on the PC, but I thought, well, it's on the Xbox store, have a punt anyway. Let's have a quick look at the video.
Welcome to Imagine Earth Limited. Your job as a space colony manager is to explore and populate distant worlds, build up thriving and profitable colonies on a global scale, raise great cities from the ground, and satisfy their appetite for resources by building power plants, farms, and factories. Produce goods and sell them to the space traders. Craft special equipment from the mined noble metals and extracted substances. Use terraforming and other alien technologies to make the new world inhabitable. Do research for renewable energy sources. And develop sustainable production lines to avoid overgrowth and climate collapse on your new home worlds. Apply for our mission-based build-up campaign, or join global competitions against up to 6 corporations for economic dominance on various planets. Trade stocks to take over the cities of rival corporations, or cooperate with them. Shield your base against space pirates trying to rob your warehouses. Defend it against infiltrating alien assimilators, and get ready for even greater threats. Dig for Idion crystals and pacify riots in your colony, coexist and trade with natives, deal with alien investors and hostile colonies. Natural disasters increase in frequency as climate change progresses. Take care of pollution and emissions caused by your expanding cities. Achieving a balance between growth and sustainability is the final challenge for every civilization. Can you lead your colony into wealth and prosperity? Then we've got the perfect job for you. Apply now as a space colony manager at Imagine Earth Ltd. But don't make the mistake of believing this mission will be a piece of cake.
Yeah, so that's Imagine Earth. Looks good to me. Like I said, I would usually, that sort of game I'd usually have on the PC. So it'd be interesting to be able to play that on controller. Just because it's generally a few hours. You're not going to sit down on this and just jump in and out for 30 minutes until you've really got some mastery of the game. But yeah, so it's generally a longer session. So that's Imagine Earth. What are we on so far? So I just added the formulas to my little on the fly spreadsheet, and we are up to £16.81 instead of £77 of the retail price. That's a saving of over £60 and a 78% saving, which is pretty cool actually. So these sales are really productive. In My Shadow looked good. Now I'm sure there's one or two titles that I've bought but not in the sale. This isn't one of them. I suspected it was, but yeah, £2.99 instead of the £10 saving, 70% discount there. Takes you on a wondrous journey through the mind of Bella in pursuit of reconciliation with her past. The game features 4 rooms with a total of more than 50 puzzles to solve. Each room offers a different glimpse into her memories, exploring the changing relationships in her family. The shadows within each level must be manipulated via objects to progress. Yeah, so this was what was interesting. In My Shadow is more than a cleverly designed puzzle platformer. It is a heartwarming story into the mind of a young woman looking for answers to questions in her past. So this isn't a review. This is obviously a synopsis written by the developer or publisher, probably the publisher if they're separate. Yeah, but single player as well. Let's have a quick look at some of those screenshots. Yeah, so a couple of the reviews said that this mechanic of how the shadows work is quite novel. So again, I do like a puzzle game, and I do like a novel mechanic in there as well. Looks interesting. I'll have a quick look at the video. Hello. My controller's blinking. That means it's finally done the old, I don't know what I'm doing in the store. I'll use the remote instead. And the headset's gone a bit funny as well. I might have to turn it on and off. Yeah, it's weird this. Can't get that. There is another way to access it. You go all the way up and then up again. That's the way to get a hold of the trailers.
I find myself in a strange world. It feels like a dream. I just keep running and running. But I don't know where. Will this ever end? Or am I lost forever?
So yeah, a bit different to the sort of FPS fast-paced shooter that, that's my staple of gaming. But since I've upgraded my motion chip, I've become a lot more receptive to this sort of narrative-driven game and puzzler. Yeah, that makes me happy as well. There aren't many reviews on this, just mind-blowing, more than 10 out of 10. Up for a fantastic game. Just get the game, and I am glad I did. And then somebody's put a solid platform, a unique concept of moving platforms and angling objects to make the shadows bigger or smaller. Yeah, when the reviews are limited like this, I tend to look at this as well. That's weird. 0 out of 10 people found that useful. I'll give them a helpful. You've taken the time to do a review. I'm going to say that's helpful. What kind of miserable people have been down? It's not like there's competitors that are just like, oh, we'll downrate this game and help our game. It's strange to me that. I mean, I do, if I disagree with a review, I might mark it as unhelpful. But, I can't disagree with somebody's opinion. Do you know what I mean? If they do or don't enjoy the game, then that's it. Yeah, this controller's gone a bit funny. So let's just jump back out of here for a second and move along then. No, oh, this is the only trouble is on my remote is I have got a load of redundant buttons on the remote, and if I press one of those unassigned buttons, it all goes Pete Tong like it's done now. This is never good. This is why I didn't bother gaming whilst I was downloading, because the other issue is downloading seems to just take up a fair amount of like resources on the Xbox. It's really gone. This has happened many a time before. Look, it's actually lost the wireless network connection as well as the like accessories connection as well. Like I said, I think it's all on one card or chipset, and so when it does that, it's a bit annoying. Oh well. It'll always do these things when it's out of warranty as well, isn't it? Okay, so that was In My Shadow. We've got The Great Perhaps. This looked an interesting title to me as well. Like I said, they all do. 2 gigabytes, not a huge title. Where we at? Where we at? I think I'm just going to abandon this controller in a second because if it's going to cause me issues, then yeah, no point in doing it. So yeah, positive reviews. Again, it's 70% off, so not a huge saving, but that's because the original price wasn't a huge original price. And I am always amazed by some of the prices I've seen for games. You know, God knows what the absolute, bee's knees prices for Starfield Direct. I bet it's going to be humongous. But like Hogwarts, I saw Hogwarts for over £100. I was like, whoa, that's just mad to me. Let's have a look at the trailer anyway.
The most terrifying fact about the universe is not that it is hostile, but that it is indifferent. But if we can come to terms with this indifference and accept the challenges of life within the boundaries of death, our existence can have genuine meaning. However vast the darkness, we must supply our own light.
So I suspect the narrative is going to be the main part of this game. Now, if you didn't get the impression from the trailer, if you didn't see that, he was carrying a little lantern that allowed him to sort of see back in time. So it's a bit unusual that we've got a 2D platformer dealing with fourth dimensional concepts, but I suppose that happens. I'm going to need the controller on actually because I'm going to need that right thumbstick to scroll down. I don't have a right thumbstick on my remote. There among the ruins, he finds an unusual artifact, an old lantern, in the light of which you can see glimpses of another time and travel to the past, experience constant time traveling between an empty, melancholic scenery of the post-apocalyptic Earth and its vivid days gone by. The hero will face the danger in the post-apocalyptic present as well as in the past. So yeah, it just, again, it's another puzzler with a unique mechanic, and I really like that idea. Just when you think, oh, have they done everything that can be done in a puzzler? And it's a cool art style as well. Very simple, but there's a lot of effort that goes into this artwork as well. Don't appreciate that. It is quite intriguing. Huge octopus in the background there. Ratings all good, basically fairly healthy, genuinely beautiful, quick game, easy achievement. There's one game where there's only one rating, and it just says easy, easy 1,000 gamer points. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Like, to me, I hunt down games that look great, play great. I couldn't give a flying about gamer points, really. Again, as I find myself often saying, each to their own. I'm not 100% on the pronunciation of Fatum Betula. I've probably absolutely devastated that. But only a small game, 500 megabytes. £2.49 instead of the £4.99. So quick maths, 50%, I'm guessing. 50%. Look at that. Maths genius there. Now, if we have a quick look at these screenshots, it is a sort of, well, I wouldn't usually stomach titles like this, but then I played that title Paratopic, and I thought, actually there's something to be said for these sort of old style games. I don't know. It can be a bit frustrating. I wouldn't blame any younger gamers that just thought, I've got no time for that. Welcome to a world without a past. Fatum Betula, or FB, as we'll now refer to it, is an atmospheric exploration game with light puzzle elements. Magical birch is the only thing dictating the future, which sounded really unusual to me. I like the idea of that. And it is your job to find something appropriate to feed it with. I mean, what do you feed a birch with other than sunlight and the nutrients of the soil? There is a total of 10 unique endings and a plethora of secrets to uncover. So PS1 era visuals are excellent, and although the art style is very different, there's a real Ghibli-esque sense of mystical wonder to the world. Highly recommended, and that's Alpha Beta Gamer. It's actually in 60 frames per second. Be surprising if it wasn't, really, I suppose. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, I took the risk on it, thinking, actually, let's jump in that. For the price, worth a punt again. And actually, just the ratings on the web were pretty good about the game. So, as much as I was put off it, you know, if it's got good ratings, I'll follow that. Oh, is that the internet connection? Yeah, so a little bit odd game. Let's have a quick look at it's published by Baltoro Games and developed by Bryce Boucher. I'm not going to remember that, but I'm going to try. Now, that game that I purchased fairly recently, and it doesn't look recent, but I do buy a lot of games, not daily, but certainly weekly. Oh, almost daily, actually, hell with it. So it's quite far down the list, but it was a recent purchase. Oh my God, how far down the list do we have to go? What did I say? Bryce, I'll recognise the names when they come up. Oh, I went on an Xbox 360 spending spree there then. Where are we at? Hey, no. I think Paratopic is a game I own rather than a Game Pass game. I've missed it, haven't I? Absolutely missed it. Let's sort it by... Oh, right, there we go. I just neglected that side of the screen there. So this is, you know, this is what opened my mind up to, oh, this could be... Oh, this is also published by Baltoro Games as well, so they're obviously into publishing these weird titles. But I like this game. I sort of started hating it as I was playing it, but then I grew to like it after about 15 minutes. And I think part of it is because it's just this pixelated nature is actually just very uncomfortable, so lends itself so well to anything that's of a horror nature, really. It's just a bit misshapen characters, etc. Look at those two at the bar, on the bar stools. It's just a bit odd, isn't it? So, you know, I usually hate crap graphics, but actually that was all right, that game. So, what are we on? I don't want to mess up my spreadsheet either. Yeah, so that was Fatum Betula. Again, this is a title that I would usually get, this Urban Flow, on the PC. I wouldn't usually get this on the Xbox because it just looks to me like a sit down at a desk and clicky mousy type game. Just checking on this. Why is there so many titles still there? Oh yeah, all the updates. Yeah, it just more of a clicky mousy type game, and actually, I just thought, oh, you know, if it's on sale, I might as well just have a punt. Totally got myself confused there. Owned games, yeah, Urban Flow. Doesn't look amazingly complicated. It's 3.5 gig though. And I think, strangely enough, I think it might be a Series X title, which is a bit odd because that means it takes up space on the old hard drive to run it. But I couldn't tell you for sure. Is it a Series X? It doesn't say Series X on it. No, I'm lying. Unless this is a smart delivery thing, so if you put it on a external hard drive, it gives you the Series X game. I don't know. Urban Flow is a game about the subtle beauty of city streets filled with cars moving in a perfect harmony. But such order does not happen by itself. Oh, you haven't finished reading. The city needs you to control the traffic lights and make sure everything goes smoothly. That means no crashes, no jams, everything. So it just looked like a little chilled out thing, really. £10.74. I presume then that this is going to be a little bonus thing. It wasn't in the sales actually. Let's have a look. I've obviously just decided to go ahead and make us start on this one. Oh, why not? Yeah, it's not giving me the option to purchase it actually, but oh, okay, this is silly, but there are a few offers out there. There's Fatum Betula and Urban Flow for £4.99. I don't think I bought that. I think I bought them separately, like a fool. So this is included in other things. So if you're missing another game, then have a look at that. So, oh, and there's Paratopic in there as well. So is that by the same developer or publisher again? Yeah, it's just by the same publisher. This time developed and published by Baltoro Games. I'm going to guess then that as a rough thing, that if it's £4.99 for both and the last one was £2.49, let's just say that this was £2.49. Okay, that's fair. So still a saving on that. I just can't see the price for some reason. Strange. I hope I'm not misinforming you about that. Just looks interesting anyway. Just, each traffic light's corresponding to a button. Sorry, it doesn't look that interesting. It just looks a nice bit of chilled, do some traffic lights really. And yeah, let's have a look at the video. It's one that I'd seen earlier in the year and I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll get that.
Only chaos. But then,
wow, my ISP doesn't like the fact that I've just been hammering downloads. I think they're throttling me. It's a bit annoying. You think there's like a content delivery network for Xbox? There must be a CDN. That just, where they pay ISPs to like allow their traffic. That's a bit frustrating that hasn't quite downloaded. I mean, I could put it on the laptop, I suppose. Let's try it this way. Will we be able to see the trailer this way? No. I think there's enough from the screenshots anyway to talk about what it's about. So just a fairly chilled out title. I don't know why I'm buying these horror games. I'm racking them up, to be honest, even with like Resident Evil and stuff, and still not got around to playing them. Even though I enjoy horror, the difficulty is they do scare the living out of me. And so that's, I just don't play them. Because I've been gaming in the evenings into the night as well, it's just like, it's not a great time to play horror games, really. But yeah, this just looks interesting, and I do like a well-made horror. I don't want a rubbishy horror. Start your adventure in one of the best scary Games and creepy horror games. In the horror, you will find yourself in a creepy city with secrets, monsters, and adventure. Sounds a bit of a rubbishy synopsis. Doesn't really grab my attention. You have to visit 8 huge locations, including streets, hospitals, cemeteries, sewer, all your archetypal horror places. But let's have a look in here. Ugh, needs an exorcism. I don't like that picture in the back of the cat with all the teeth around its face. That looks a bit. No, I'm not happy about that. God. Oh no. Oh no. Some people actually, there is a term for phobia of clowns. I presume that phobia existed before Stephen King's It. I presume he played upon that phobia and thought, you know what, it's an interesting idea. If you're spooked out, look away now. Well, there you go. You get half a sample. What is going on? Easier than the first one. Both are fun and easy. Hope we get a third. It's not that bad. On par with the first, but this game gives you weapons to mow down creatures. Easy 1000 for those achievement hunters. I still don't get why somebody would hunt achievements, really. I'm just doesn't quite compute for me. I'd like to see if it's any other reason than just, I don't know, quantitatively measuring oneself. Sinking City. Now there is a bundle actually with this game, but I can't remember if the bundle was on offer or not. I think maybe the bundle was on offer and I decided to get this game. I don't know. I can't remember. But so this is £41.74, and maybe I can see. Yeah, there we go. There's the bundle. So £9.99 instead of £49.99, and you get a few DLCs and things like that with it as well. So £9.99 instead of £49.99. Now this is interesting, this title, because let's go into it here, right? This is the Xbox One version, I understand, and a different publisher released the Xbox Series X version, but I couldn't see much difference, so I just stuck with the Xbox One version. Combat's a bit clunky. Storyline is somewhat interesting, but definitely not worth £50 to £60. I found it lacking in mechanics and skills. You'd be better off waiting for it to go down in price, which I have done anyway. And if you purchase it, then you have done. I hope they do another. It's a bit clunky at times, but not game breaking. Story is great. World is dark, does credit to H.P. Lovecraft and encourages you to investigate the world. I got it as soon as. Now, I think the word woke is used often by more right-wing people as a derogatory put down for the left. You know what I mean? But I think the more woke people would probably favour not going for a Lovecraft game because of some of his less than judging him by modern standards, less than acceptable ideas. I think some racism in there. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I get anyway. Has anybody reviewed this negative? Glad I didn't pay full price for the ending. Scenes are done in 5 seconds. Did you run out of budget? It's a bit strange. There is actually a very expensive game on the PS2. If you've got an original copy, worth a fortune, because they did run out of time and they just shipped CD2 to say, you know, this is what you could have had type thing, which is quite interesting. Let's have a look at the video.
Peggy 18.
Sound is really jittery for me, but I don't know if it's no, I presume it'd be jittery on the video as well. That's so frustrating. Suffice it to say, based on the video, I was like, well, graphically that's good enough for what I want. I can't imagine the Series X increase in price just being worth it really, because there is a non, it's not on sale. The Series X title, it's just the Xbox One. Let me just double check that because I'm sure that's the why I got the Xbox One version. Um, yeah, so look, there's the Series X title, and I couldn't really see a hell of a difference. You know, it does look good, but I just couldn't see it. And the other advantage as well of getting the Xbox One title is that it just doesn't take up that space on the. I refuse to believe that's only 1.4 gig. What am I on with my title here? 14 gig, and that's the Xbox One version. So there's no way that that Series X is just 1.4 gigabytes. Nah, what a load of rubbish. But yeah, so this looked good. That HP Lovecraft. Um, oh, I don't know what is going on with my headset and everything. It's just every time I go into the store, it just goes a bit funny. But yeah, 82. 4 out of 5 stars from 82 ratings on the store. Right, this one is one that I was after a while, and I've only just downloaded it. I think it's just come out of sale, really. But I mean, it's a bit annoying. I think it was only like $4.99 when it was on sale, and I got it, but only just sort of downloaded it. I think I'll leave it in there because that's just again another example of what's a like what's what the game sales are like on the Xbox Store, and they are brilliant. Um, I never really found the game that would scratch that Lego itch that I have, and I used Trailmakers a bit, but this just looked good from what I saw of some of the YouTube videos and read from some of the ratings, people saying, it's fun and enjoyable. I've had the game since it released in early access back in 2015. Glad it finally got a console release. Do really enjoy this game and have grown quite addicted to it despite the crashes and slow world rendering distance. This game could keep you busy for hours if you let it. This one's best Lego game ever, well, sold. Um, in this new Lego game, you can explore and adventure through the land with a friend. Yes, this game is multiplayer, so you can now play with your friends. It's also split screen. If you have a friend down your house, you can play with him too or her. This game does have building options, which very similar to Minecraft and other building games. So yeah, it just sounds perfect, really, for what I was looking for. Is it worth having a
Peggy
stab at the
7.
trailer? Oh, excuse me. What a wonderful world. Right. Yeah. No, it's a bit annoying actually. I'm only getting like I'm buffering half of it and then that's it. God damn it. That's really maxed out my it's supposed to be on 125 megabits. Like it's strange because some of the earlier videos were playing fine, and it's only since the controller and the headset have been having a bit of a wig out that the videos haven't been playing ball. Look at that, the headset's disconnected, reconnected. There's an advertisement for Microsoft, isn't it? And its accessories. Don't know what's going on. It's only downloaded it. Yeah, I've been throttled, haven't I? God, so annoying. No, it's going back up then. Who knows? Oh, I think I know what's happening. Is every time the controller gets disconnected in the store, then it throws out the Wi-Fi, and then it gets buffering issues. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. You know, I hope for everybody else's sake, I'm the only one suffering with it. But then for my sake, I hope somebody else has the issue and it gets sorted out. This is a large game, 46 gigabytes, isn't it? I was surprised actually, just now surprised. Players descend into continental Europe after it has been overrun by horrific, murderous clones called Zeds that were created by rogue elements of the Horzine Corporation. Civilization is in disarray, governments have collapsed, and military forces have been ... Okay. So this is $29.99 on any regular day, but I don't think this is currently in the sales. I think it was in the sales. So I'm gonna leave this one out of my calculations actually, because I don't know if I've just bought this at full price or not, to be honest. But yeah, this is a little bonus one then. So not currently in the sales. It's Xbox One X enhanced. I would have bought this and redeemed the code or something now. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have paid that. I'm too tight to pay that. But yeah, it just looked interesting. It's not without its criticism though, from what I remember. This game. Get it now. First game I've pre-ordered in a long time. I've played the original on my PC over 150 hours, but my PC is not good enough to run Killing Floor 2, so I'm so happy it's come to Xbox. Killing Floor, in my opinion, is a mix between COD Zombies and Left 4 Dead. I'm going to make a Killing Floor club open to everyone. Feel free to join so we can take down the hordes of Zeds together. That was back in 2017. It'd be funny if he was still on that 6 years later, running that club. Killing Floor 2 finally, yeah. So, you know, some of these are a bit nostalgic reviews. Oh man, just, you know, oh, oh dear, bruv, it's sick. Right, well done. Thanks for that. Thanks for taking the time to give an informative review. Do you know what I mean? It's over. EU servers officially dead. You will never find more than 3 players. Club LFG is dead. Console player base is almost gone. Truly sad. Okay, well, it's not too horrific that, because I'm getting panicked. It is a single player, so it's not the end of the world if there's no online multiplayer for me anyway. But yeah, okay, all right. Killing Floor 2 isn't currently in the sale, so really, I should have no business talking about that. And that must be, yeah, that's really hogging up. I'm just going to pause that and leave that one going on later and just kill off some of these. Let's get that paused as well. That was a humongous update. It's a bit awkward. I have to pause it. No, I have to update it, and then I can pause it. 35 gig. All right, it paused, so move away. No, what are you doing then? Now you paused. Cool. Yeah, I'll come back to those then later. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the final one, last but not least, is Submerged, and that's a Series X title. It's only 6.3 gigs. It sort of looked very similar to another game I got, but this isn't actually on sale either. So I've obviously just bought that in the past, and well, actually, to be honest, I was sorting out a load of code, so I'm not going to add that to my spreadsheet either. I found a load of codes that I'd bought games with, and in fact, I've got codes to give away. I'll put them on my Mastodon. To be honest, I publish these codes either on Discord or Mastodon or wherever it is. I've put them in YouTube comments, and all that I ever ask people is if you use the code, leave a comment to say I've used it, so that other people aren't, you know, so annoying the idea of so many other people. I was about to say 40 people, but I don't have that sort of audience size. But it's annoying the idea of people having to type in these codes. and then finding they don't work. So my only request when I put out codes is just say I've used the code. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not even saying say thanks. Just say you've used the code. It was Diablo 4 had a handful of codes for that, and people were just constantly, oh, it's not working, it's not working. It's yeah, because people have used it and not bothered. Um, I mean, let's have a look at this anyway. It sort of made me think of the island survival game I've been playing recently, where you just eat coconuts all day long. But it looked good. I hope it's not a clone of Subnautica, because I've got that. And I hope it's not a clone of Absu either, because I've got that. So, yeah, it's just water themed. But yeah, decent reviews anyway. I'm not going to linger on this because that's not part of the sales. But yeah, that's some handpicked. So forget Killing Floor 2 and Submerged. Those are some handpicked games that currently in the sale that look good, I think. Anyway, some of them you'll have to buy as bundles. And some individually priced as well. To be honest, most of these games, of which what that I directly own, 355 games, including. Um, so if I take out, say, 360 games, oh no, I've only looked at 360 games. Okay, Xbox One and Series games, 280. So the majority of Xbox One, Xbox Series games, and pretty much all of these I've purchased via discounts on sales and stuff. Few of these have I paid full price for, and I'm just reluctant to do that. Because I've got so many games, I've got a huge catalogue of games. I never rush to buy a game. It's just like, well, if that takes my fancy, I'll just wait till it's on discount, which is what happened for Red Dead. I still haven't played Red Dead yet, but it was only recently that I saw it down to something like, I can't remember, £10 or something. I was like, grab that at that price. That was the best price I'd seen it at. But yeah, most of these games, overwhelming majority of these games, I've had a discounted price. Dakar, I think, is the most expensive, the most I've ever spent on a game. And it's probably the game I've played the least as well, £25, I think Dakar Desert Rally cost me. Initially came out with a few issues, put me right off, but I know the developers were sorting those out. So as a final remark, again, Xbox Store, you want to find those games. There's on the homepage there are these deals here. They've still got this ID Super Sale on, ID Super Sale. I decided not to get Feather. It looked good, but I've got all those airy games. I thought I don't need another flying bird game really. So yeah, you'll see games advertised here. The other thing is the deals. You go in there and you will see games advertised in the deals. What I find, like I said, a lot of these games are accessible if you've got Xbox Gold directly or via Game Pass. Is I go into subscriptions, and then I go down to on games with gold or free games, but deals with gold, and then I just have a scout through those. I'm going to just hit the X button to show all, and these are the best sort of offers and deals. I don't know which Tomb Raider titles I've got and haven't got. I'm so confused by it. There's so many out there. I don't know if to buy that one or not. I think I've got Rise of the Tomb Raider actually. So, but every time I see a Tomb Raider title, I can't work out if I've already played it, if I've got it. Who knows? Yeah, so there's still some games on here that I flicked through pretty much everything that's on sale at the moment and decided yes or no. So those games are really the ones that I rate. But some of these games, like Don't Be Afraid, I've just bought on PC because currently, and I'll just do a little. Well, before I go on to PC, I'll just finish off what I was going to say. The other thing to consider when it comes to like discounted and cheeky pricing and stuff like that is in the Xbox rewards thing here. You can redeem points for next to nothing. 6,000 points or just under gets you a £5 card, and that can work out to 1 or 2 games really. And the weekly sets are nothing really. I've launched this app 3 times, so I got 50 points for doing that. I've also searched on Bing 3 times. I could probably do another search. Annoyingly, Bing probably thinks I'm interested in Sheffield Wednesday and all. And what else was it? There was somebody in the news, Philip Schofield. Do you know what I mean? I just go in here, I just click on the suggested search. I don't know who that is. Probably not take the risk. Oh God, that's sick. Whoever that is, just click on the name. That's it. The search is done. That plus 3 points for that search. Come back out. Go into the rewards app. Really is not much effort at all. But it seems a lot of effort for what you're getting there. But I've ended up with 40 points there, and as a consequence, where am I at? I should get 100 points for that, for completing that weekly set now. I don't know why it's not doing that. Click here when complete. No thanks. It should mark that as complete. Oh, I thought, you know what? I thought I was going to be all right to wait to go to the loo, but I can't, so I'm going to have to pop there now. Yeah, these rewards points are great. You just get 3 points for a little internet search. It's just nothing much, really. I'm not going to talk to you while I'm going to the loo. I'll turn off my mic now. Sorry about that. And then all I do is come back down and I neck another pint of water as well, which is it, but I'm dehydrated, so it's crazy. Mm. Swimming and exercise, or renal failure. I don't know. Right, I don't know what's happened there, but it hasn't registered those 3 points. So this is usually a quick process. Oh, now it has. Okay, so gained 100 points for that one. I'm now on 1,700 points, and we're only on the 6th of July. So it's only been like less than a week, and I'm already on a third of the way to that £5 discount card. Here, launch the rewards app 7 days in a row. I've done that, so I could tick that box. I think the other one's probably complete 2 weekly sets, so I could tick that box. I've just completed one of those weekly sets, and then probably the other one is just click here to claim your bonus points as well. So click on that. Usually that's worth 2,000. I don't know what's happened here. So again, we're on within 6 days, and I'm already halfway to that £5 discount card. I just tend to get those. What I've decided to do is actually I'm a bit of a funny. Well, I don't like paying for DLCs. If you haven't got the impression, I do like at least the perception of having a bargain. But you know what I mean? Like you could inflate the price to £1,000 and tell me the game is £100 and I'll buy it because I just feel like I've got a bargain. This is a cool way to earn points. So you search with Bing, and the quickest way I've done this, and again, Bing has got this malformed idea of thinks I'm obsessed with Elizabeth Holmes and Ice Spice because all I do is A, B, right, A, B, right, A, B, right. And I do that 30 times because you can have up to 90 points available for search. and it doesn't take much time to do it. A lot of these things, if you're just watching Netflix on your laptop or whatever, on your phone, I don't know, you can just quickly blitz it out. Doesn't take much. It seems like it's a lot of effort, and probably if I objectively looked at the maths of it in terms of earnings per hour, yes, it probably is hugely uneconomical. But I'll keep going until that +3 doesn't appear. So I don't even count it anymore. I used to go 1, 2, count out the 30 times. But once I've maxed out my searches, and actually the other thing is, I'll give you another quick tip in a second. Then back into the rewards app, and that's just another 90 points dumped on there for not very much. I don't think Microsoft care about that either, because they probably publish to their shareholders and say, we've had this many people search our stuff, even though you're not really searching it. But bingo, 90 points gained for that. Same with the mobile search, really. You could just flick through that. There are other ways to earn points, and another way to do that is via offers. I don't know if I can get search with Edge on Xbox as well. What I don't know is whether or not you can. Let's have a look. We're on Bing here. When you do some quizzes, you get points for quizzes, but during the quiz, it will also get you to search stuff. So, like this neo-noir space exploration, that should have just earned me 10 points just for clicking on that link. What else have we got going on? A bonus quiz, 30 points for a quick quiz. Start playing. What's this about? Which 5 bird species are in hot deserts? Well, I don't think it's the Arctic tern. Let's go for the razorbill. No! Okay, all right, let's think about this. Ostrich, the desert lark, the verdin. I don't even know if that's a real bird, the greater roadrunner. It's not going to be the Atlantic puffin, is it? The cactus wren, get in there. And, well, process of elimination. Okay, done. Which 5 animal species are found in the Sahara Desert? Oh, okay. Well, it's not going to be the Tibetan Mastiff or the Siberian Husky. Tiger. No. Oh, God. The fennec fox. The Dharma gazelle. You wouldn't believe that I've actually been to the Sahara Desert with my knowledge here. But the addax, and then the dromedary. Oh, I wonder if that's a camel I rode on. Can't remember how many humps my camel had. I think it had one. It was pretty awkward. Which 5 animals inhabit the polar desert? Okay, so reindeer. The Arctic hare. It's quite cool, the Arctic hare. There's a picture there, actually. Yeah, it's quite cool. Penguin. Polar bear. And then the Arctic fox. Cool, job done. If doing quizzes is your thing, then you might enjoy that. Daily poll. Kind of holiday do you prefer? International. Unless I'm broke, then domestic. And then that's that daily set completed. There are more activities. There are ways of earning more money. You could do these midweek puzzles. That's quite time consuming, really, I think, for what it is. Oh, to hell with it. What I find, and I don't know if this is the best way of doing things, but I want to, it's almost like a bit, I play it like Snake. I go like this, and I get all the numbers lined up. It doesn't matter where they are, but so I've got 1, 2, 3 like that. I'll need number 4, so let's just get number 4 over there. 4's lined up. And then I'll want number 5, then number 6, and then number 7. So we'll just shifty these along. So you can see, like, I'm building my snake. That's the way I do it. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it isn't actually the most efficient way of doing it, but for me, if I start thinking about building that snake, it's actually the most foolproof way of doing it. Oh, until you end up in that situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it'll work out in the end. It always does. Yeah. 7 and 8 always end up in the right place. There we go, done. 65 steps. There's loads of stuff you can do on this. There's loads of stuff, more activities. That's the puzzle. Japanese food quiz. What is an omurice? It's a rice porridge. No, it's an omelette. Oh, I'm not doing 7 questions. What type of seafood is used to make takoyaki? No. Oh, I really don't know my Japanese food. Okay. Again, it's a judgment call. I don't think 7 questions for 10 points is worthwhile. Kissing. Celebrate what? International Kissing Day? Okay, that's just a link. That's all that is. Like you just have to pretend to read about stuff. Connecting stem. Again, just a link. Where's all the others? Where's the stuff gone? Oh yeah, here it is. More activities. So you can really go into depth. I don't tend to bother with these, to be fair. Recharge your batteries. Grand Canyon National Park, 10 points for clicking on that. I don't know how, people have bought loads of stuff. Some guy bought a Series X with all his points. What I don't get is how Microsoft can give away all this stuff, apart from being a bloody Alexa. Alexa, stop. I don't know why it's kicked her off. So I don't understand how Microsoft make any money out of this, really, doing this rewards, unless it's just, the fact that they're just making a huge revenue off people buying games and they just give a little back. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, already, I don't know what I started today off on, 1,000 points maybe. I don't really pay much attention to this, just a little routine, but I'm on 3,000 points. And so that's close to getting one of those voucher things, £5 gift card. You can auto redeem it, so it's only 5,500 points if you want to. But what I've decided to do, all right, this is a bit strange for me anyway, is obviously Starfield Direct is coming out soon. And I know I'm going to end up hitting that game hard. So what I thought I'm going to do with my points is I'm going to just do this premium edition upgrade. It gives you a DLC and things. What does it give actually? What does it give? Old Mars skin pack. I can't stand skin packs. They're just a crazy way of getting kids to part with their cash. Premium edition content, art book and soundtrack, not fussed. Premium edition update from the standard and receive the following bonus items: the Shattered Space Story expansion. I don't know. I mean, okay, it doesn't seem worth 30 quid, to be fair, actually. That people have already added ratings. How's that already had a rating on it as well? Seems strange to me. I thought about just because I will, like, on principle, not pay for DLCs really, unless they're part of a bundle and it's a huge discount. And I thought, well, I'll save up my points really for that maybe. So every time I do that, if you're going to do something like that, then don't buy the £5 gift card and just keep that in your account, because it has to be used within a certain amount of time. I can't remember what it was, but it's not vastly quick, but it's like has to be used within 3 months or something like that. Does it say there? yeah, spend within 90 days of deposit. So just leave them as rewards points. And I see people that like, they've got hundreds of thousands of these reward points knocking around. I think you can earn 30,000 a month. I tend to earn about 12,000, so not even close to that, what you could be earning. But I don't like going over the top with it because it is essentially a waste of time, really. I don't know. I'm in two minds about it, but I'm in the mind it's a bit like points that you get in supermarkets, and you end up needing 200 million points to have 20 pence off a can of something that you're never going to eat anyway. And yeah, that was it for the rewards. And the only other thing I was going to do, whilst I'm on the topic of gaming and whatnot, is just say, consider that there can be games that are on Steam and PC just generally, and not necessarily, you know, games that are. Let's just open this into a new tab. I think that'll be easier. Let's do it as a cognito thing here, and then do that, and do that. Incognito. Yeah, just to avoid all my account details coming up. And then I'll flick over to this. Where are we at? Desktop. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, that was the results of my calculation, basically. On those Xbox games, spent £45, but that's an RRP of £191. So that's saving on £146 or 76%. Now, if you're not gaming mad like that and don't have, you know, crazy amounts of money to waste on games, it doesn't, you don't have to be spending that sort of thing to see some good savings and just get a few titles. I've got the opportunity to purchase those games and just bank them for future use. And hopefully, fingers crossed, by the time that future use comes around, it isn't just a new console and the Xbox Series X goes in the bin. We'll see. Fanatical, they've got a great offer up at the moment. And it is a bundle, but I can't remember the name of it. I don't tend to go for the mystery bundles myself, and that is a mystery bundle. It ain't the mystery bundle, it is another type of bundle. It's not hugely advertised then by the looks of it, because I can't get to it. Double pack, double pack, double pack. Ooh, is that a stalker? I think that's on my games list actually. Yeah, might be. Hugely positive. Certainly on my film list. I'm just trying to think of the Russian director who made the film, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that is on my. I'll just stick that in my to review thing. Um, I'm trying to find you this bundle. Fanatical. We're all about bundles in Fanatical. Bundling games. It's not the VIP mystery bundle. Even just individual games, there's huge like savings to be had. Right, let me think of a game that I bought in that bundle. Styx. Right. So if I go here, STYX, Styx, Master of Shadows, Master of Darkness. Oh, you know what? It was a build your own independence bundle. Okay, so build your own independence bundle. I'll stick that in chat. And there's some great bargains to be had. So I didn't buy some of the Xbox, one of the Xbox games I fancied, because it was such a bargain on here. It ended up as like 50p. So I think what you do here, I'm in the wrong thing again. It's either 1 for £1, 5 for 2.99, so that's 60 pence each, or 10 for 4.99, 50 pence each. So I ended up going for the middle one. I think I've got Shards of Darkness on here, so I got Red Out, the enhanced edition. I got this kart racer. I love kart racing games. I got Red Out Space Assault, so I didn't get this enhanced edition because I've got that on the Xbox. Sorry. So Red Out Space Assault. This I got Don't Be Afraid, so I didn't get that on the Xbox. I got the Styx Master of Shadows, and then the final game I got, I think, wasn't Rebel Galaxy, or was it? Yeah, it could have been. There's Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. I didn't go for that 80s Overdrive in the end. I don't remember what it was that I got. But yeah, so there's some decent opportunities. It might not be on here as well. These things tend to sell out quick. Maybe it was in between, actually. That sort of rings a bell. Yeah, so if loads of people have ended up heavily going for like Gemcraft or something, then that game won't be available. What lies in the multiverse? Strange. To be honest, if I go to rogue.io/retro Jimmy X, have a look in the library, sort it by date added, and not played. Those are all the Xbox games I added. Oh, I did. It was Rebel Galaxy then. Nickelodeon Kart Racer, Red Out Space Assault, Don't Be Afraid, and whatever the other one was. Yeah, so what I was going to say is, if you've got a reasonable PC for running games and things like that, you can, it's always worth just double checking on Steam. Now I have to manage this ridiculous thing because I've ended up, and this has only been in the last year. Like this games collection is just 1 year's worth of games, because I have not been gaming mad for a long time, to be honest. But 919 titles, all pretty much accumulated within the last year, and it's just gone out of control really in terms of like trying to track what's on what. Again, these are all discounted. I keep saying to myself, I've got to not buy any more games and just get through this catalogue. But then when I see game offers, I just think, yeah, that's a great price. So I think I'm just going to have to remain in retirement until I just get every single game done, and that's it, really. Where are we at? Xbox Series X. Yeah. So hopefully that's been useful. Anyway, as an introduction to what's currently on sale, and how to access those sales, and also how to get into some of those Microsoft rewards, and a quick reminder on just checking, just having a look, see if any of the other platforms you run, Nintendo Switch, PS5, PC, is there a better price on there? You never know. And then what I'm going to do now is, hopefully, if everything's downloaded, oh, get down to that, which it looks like everything has, I'm going to have a bash on, well, I'm not going to download those. I'm going to have a bash on one of those titles, actually. So I'll restart the stream and I'll crack on with having a look at one of these titles. I don't know which one yet. Okay, catch you later.